morning. This is lesson 69 in Saxon 5.4, and it's on millimeters. So I would encourage you, if you don't yet, go ahead and pause this video and get a ruler. So, this line segment is 1 centimeter long. Also, just going to put this out here. If you don't have your book open to lesson 69, I would do that because this lesson will require that you have your book open so that you can actually measure accurately the lines on the book pages. So again, go ahead and pause this and make sure you have your ruler, make sure you have your book open to lesson 69 so that you can follow along with the ruler. So, this line segment is 1 centimeter long. If we divide a centimeter, so remember, you have your inches side of your ruler and your centimeter side of your ruler. So if we divide a centimeter, so we want to make sure we're looking at the centimeter side here, into 10 equal lengths, each equal length is 1 centimeter long. A dime is about 1 millimeter thick. So you can see these tiny marks in between the 0 and the 1 centimeter, right? So those would be millimeter marks. So the words centimeter and millimeter are based on Latin words. The word centum in Latin is the word for 100, which is why there's, 100 centimeters in a meter. The word milli is the Latin word for 1,000 because there's 1,000 millimeters in a meter. So we can show a millimeter scale and a centimeter scale. So you can look on your book page for this too. You can see that on your ruler, I don't know if you can see this here, mine's clear so it's a little harder, but those tick marks between the 0 and 1 centimeter, those would count as 1 millimeter each. Now let's go on to the next page. Okay, here's the part where you definitely need your book and have your ruler ready. We can see from the scales that each centimeter equals 10 millimeters. Also notice that the abbreviation mm is used for millimeter. So I want you to go ahead, take your ruler here, and put it on the ruler that is shown in the book. And line it up and you'll see that those millimeters kind of line up with the millimeter marks on your ruler. So, the segment below is how many millimeters long. Well, if we look at it, this ruler shown on the page is in millimeters. So it would be 35 millimeters. This paperclip is 3 centimeters long. How many millimeters long is it? Well, we know that there are 10 millimeters in 1 centimeter, so we could just say 30. I would like you to go ahead and take your ruler and measure it as best you can. So it's about 3 centimeters, so it's about 30 millimeters. So 30 millimeters. Using the scale below, we see that a segment that is 25 millimeters long is 2 5/10 centimeters long. So if we look at these two, if we look at the millimeter ruler and the centimeter ruler, you can see that, okay, if it's 2.5 centimeters, it's 2 5/10 centimeters long, right? Or 2.5 millimeters long, because 5/10 is half, right? So if we had 25 centimeters, that would equal 2.5 millimeters. We usually write metric measures as decimal numbers instead of fractions. So 25 millimeter segment is known as a 2.5 centimeters long. 25, so same thing here. 2.5 centimeters, 2.5 centimeters would equal 25 millimeters. Okay, example 3 wants us to write the length of this segment in millimeters and in centimeters. So let's first look at it in millimeters. So A, we have how many millimeters? Okay, well, it's about 30. So we have 30, 31, 32. So it's about 32 millimeters. Using the knowledge we have, we could just say that it's going to be 3.2 centimeters. Or we could measure it out. 3.2 centimeters. Example 4 says, write a decimal subtraction problem that shows how to find the length of segment BC. So this is in centimeters, right? So this segment is about 4.678. It's about 4.8 centimeters long. AC, right? So if we said AC, so we could say 4.8 minus, let's see what another segment is. Well, segment AB is about 2.1, so we could say 2.1. That would equal, if we, did our subtraction problem here, that would equal 2.7. So that would be BC right here. Segment BC is 2.7 centimeters long. And it's important to put your units down. Is it in centimeters? Is it in millimeters? cm or mm? Okay. Practice set. A. I'd like you to do A, B, and D. A, B, D. Go ahead, pause this video. All right. Let's get ready to check your answers here. So, A. The thickness of a dime is about 1 millimeter. Estimate the number of dimes it would take to form a stack that is about 1 centimeter high. So, we know that there are 10 millimeters in 1 centimeter. So if we were to stack 10 dimes on top of each other, that would be about a centimeter. So we'd say 10 dimes would be our answer. B. Write the length of this segment twice, once in millimeters and once in centimeters. So let's first look at the millimeters. It's about 45 millimeters. Remember, it's important to write our units. And then how many centimeters? Well, we could use our knowledge, right, and say that it's 4.5 centimeters, because centimeters are bigger than millimeters. There are 10 millimeters for every 1 centimeter. Or we could measure it out and say, okay, 4.5, 4.5 centimeters. D. The diameter of a penny is about 19 millimeters. How many centimeters is that? So if it's 19 millimeters, remember, there is 1 centimeter for every 10 millimeters. So we could say 1.9 centimeters. That's the answers. Best of luck. You're on to the mixed practice.